Just a few days into practice and you already have a black eye, huh?
Yeah, this was from preseason up in Dallas. I got a stick in the last minute of the game there.
How's working with some of the defensive pairings, working with some of the guys? How's it starting? How's the cohesiveness starting to feel?
Chemistry's starting to get there. I don't know if we have set pairings yet, but right now I think it's been different the last 2 days. So I think maybe they're trying to get a feel for things. But everyone's smart players, and right now we're just going through basic drills, so it's not too much going on. But we're just making sure we communicate. That's the big thing right now.
Finally settled into Austin area after I know that you came down here. I think I know part of the trade last year. You finally settled in. You got settled up.
Yeah, starting to get more adjusted to the place here. Starting to slowly get settled in and set up my place and all that stuff. So slowly it's coming.
Coach Lister called you out as really one of the veterans on the defensive team. Can you talk about really what that entails and what you can bring to some of the younger players?
I think being my 4th year, it can help with certain things. It being a 76-game season, a lot of junior guys or guys coming out of college might not realize the rigors in terms of the travel. They'll be used to going through Illinois and bussing here or there, staying in hotels for a couple nights at a time. So I think the biggest thing is just getting them adjusted early on in the year. Just giving them little tips here and there. Obviously, there's other guys on this team who have been here even longer, who they should probably be listening to more than me. But at the same time, I think any type of advice I can give would be good.
What's the communication with language-wise for Yokapaka?
Well, when the player's as good as Yuri, it's not that hard. He's such a good skater, and he's so smart out there that really, he just, as long as he can understand a couple of the things I say, because I tend to talk a bit on the ice, I think we'll be fine.
How about your brother? How's his progress going, and what did you guys do in the off season to get ready?
Well, we worked out again together this summer. He's leaps and bounds ahead of where I was at that age. Unfortunately, he was let go from Vancouver there after the last preseason game, so it was hard. I hate to see him go through the same thing that I did. I know how hard it is for me, so I can only imagine how hard it'd be for him. But at the same time, he's only 19. He's back in junior. He'll get tons of time to play this year. So I think he's on definitely the right track, and hopefully he can just make sure he has a productive season this year.
Did you talk to him at all, or did you keep your distance, having been through that yourself?
Actually, we talked a lot during training camp. He didn't really ask me any questions about anything all summer. We were spent every day together, but we didn't talk much about it. And all of a sudden, training camp came. He had just little questions here and there. We talked a lot, how each other's days went, and then afterwards, I kind of let him on his own for a bit. But then it's time to snap out of it. You can take your day to be disappointed, because if you weren't disappointed, then there's got to be something wrong with you. So give him his day to kind of feel disappointed, and after that, it's time to get over it.
From a defensive standpoint, what are some of the guys you've seen, some of the forward combinations that you've been impressed with that you would think be hard to stop?
Well, with the lines kind of juggling a bit, I don't know for sure, but with some of the forwards we have, doesn't matter who they're put with, it's going to be tough to play against. With the size of some of our right wingers, the right-hand shots we have with Stransky and Ritchie, they'll be really good complement one after the other. It'll be tough to play against guys like that all the time.
How does the system you're playing in now compare to what you were doing under Chanel?
There's certain differences. Obviously, I think the core values boil down to the same thing, just like on a lot of teams right now. The biggest thing is playing fast, playing hard as possible, and all facets of the game, and communicating, because all systems basically boil down to that. I think there's a few little differences in terms of D-zone, and a few differences in terms of our set breakouts and stuff like that, but other than that, mainly the same.
Is it nice to be on a team now where you're the main tenant in the building, as opposed to in Lake Erie, where you guys were kind of the second show there?
Yeah, but at the same time, being at the Quicken Loans Arena, I don't think anyone's going to complain about being there. It's quite the nice facility, but again, being here, it is nice to be the headliner, and kind of it being our ring.
Willie said the strength of this team may be the defensemen. Is there a particular attitude or something that goes with you guys as a group?
I don't think so. Again, we have a pretty young D-core other than maybe Max and I. So I think the biggest thing is we just bring stability to the team. We don't have many flashy players back there this year. We've got some great skaters, but maybe not any flashy players. So I think the biggest thing is we just don't lose us games, and we work with our goaltenders to keep the other team low scoring.
What's it like for you guys having so many players back from a good team last season?
I think it's big because, again, cohesiveness in this league is important. A lot of teams in the American Hockey League don't get the opportunity to choose who the players they have on their team due to the NHL. So I think us having a lot of the players back, it's a good sign we can build off of last season.
everybody we've talked to was a little obviously disappointed. Such a good regular season, and the playoffs kind of fizzled out. What type of motivation is that for you guys this year?
I think it kind of gives us the reality check that having a good regular season doesn't really mean much once you start the playoffs. Everyone starts with a clean slate, and I think that would be the biggest thing is to maintain throughout. Don't get too high, don't get too low.
Last season for the Stars, most of the talk was for goaltending, and I think a contributor to that was Texas was among the top in the league in shots allowed. What's the defensive core telling itself to help remedy that and making sure that it's the defensive core's time to shine this year?
I think this year our D-zone plays a bit different. I don't know if we're giving the other team as much time and space. I think this year is more of an emphasis on getting on them and being hard to play against. So I think that'll cut down on the shots against, and which will make it easier on our goaltenders.
All right, thank you.